I outlined a little bit about the stimulus, kind of where we are, at least in the broadest context, but we wanted to walk through in a bit more detail the stimulus package with you.
President, members of the board, pleased to give you a status report on our stimulus fund. I'm joined by Jeff Goodling, by the way, who is our project manager on all of the implementation of these projects. As I think the general manager noted at the outset, is that we've had good response from the Federal Transit Administration on moving these projects through the NEPA process. We now have all but two, and those two are really just pro forma, waiting for responses from formal letters in consultation between various federal agencies, and so don't expect any issues in terms of their resolution here in the very near term. As the general manager noted, there are 28 projects, so really 26 ready to go right now. And indeed, even one of those that is approved, we've got sort of a half approval on them, so we're really even a bit more than that. In terms of, recall, the overall program is about $53 million. We received about $45 million directly from FTA through formulas. We applied or worked with either Metro or the state of Oregon to receive another, if you will, $8.5 million of work. So total about 53. Those are actually coming through different funding channels, so again, some complexity in terms of the detail of actually achieving the funding. As noted in the summary table right now, we've got grants awarded for about 47 of that 53 million. The rest will be forthcoming here shortly. We also have under contract right now about $29 million of work, and in construction, as you can see, at least 10. And that probably understates it a bit. On the back page is a detailed listing of all the projects and their current status. Sort of starting at the bottom, we've completed a storm piping project in Tigard. We've essentially completed also all those projects in the category second from the bottom, which is project contractors completed work in Tigard, as well as the bus maintenance of street improvements in downtown Portland and ice caps on the I-205. Have a number of others in construction. As Fred noted, the South Precinct there is actually also essentially done. We have punch list items of one sort or another that will be completed even after the movement of the officers. And we have a series of other the sort of more public, noticeable projects that are underway, certainly the construction of Milwaukee Park and Ride, which is occurring at the old Southgate Theater site, and so that is underway. Again, we've received very favorable bid on that project, metal construction, and work is proceeding well. And then we also have done through our mall contract some brick repairs on Morrison and Yamhill. That is still underway, but I'm sure that if you frequent downtown, you notice that the intersections, particularly 3rd and 4th, Morrison and Yamhill, were pretty battered in terms of the condition of the bricks, and so this will bring those up to higher level of maintenance. So a very good thing to do, and frankly defers costs that we would have otherwise had to incur later. We also have two relatively large contracts that have been awarded, one for station improvements, and that will include the painting and the Gresham stations. It will include the Gresham central platform repairs, and it will include the bike improvements, so sort of building related, and that will be developed on task order by task order, and work will be advanced as quickly as you can on that. We also have another track work contract that has been awarded, and that will do the Willow Creek pocket track, as well as some of the switch heaters and other track repair efforts that are underway. So those will progress over the fall. Overall, I would say the other big project that we have is the Burlow Fuel and Wash Facility. That is actually on the order of a $10 to $13 million project. Again, very favorable price as we went to the market with that in sort of a design-build format. So we will have that in final design right now, be progressing through Beaverton permits through really the end of the year and into early next, starting construction early next year. And that will, again, sort of build a new fuel and wash facility at the Burlow bus facility. It will also build a new lift operations office at the Merlo facility. Those are improvements that we wanted to do really for a long time and continue to sort of put them off. And again, they will also deal with some of the environmental issues. First of all, by a new, safer fuel and wash facility, but second of all, in addition to continuing to improve our stormwater management on that site, which is very critical to the site. There's wetlands right behind it, and it's very low-lying land. So again, we're very cautious about stormwater on that site, and we're putting in some additional improvements to help with that. So I'd say overall the program's going very well. We feel like we are on top of it. The bulk of this work will probably be done by about middle of 2010. Some will trickle on perhaps into the fall, but really about a year from now we expect essentially all of this work to be complete. And again, our emphasis, as Fred noted at the outset, is really the kinds of work that can get people back to work, kinds of jobs that can get people back to work. And I think we're pleased with the progress we've made so far and continue to move forward with the rest of these. And with that, please, either Jeff or I, you're pleased to answer any questions about specific projects.
Yeah, I do have one, George. Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Yeah, and just, guys, this is for the future, and Fred may know a little more about it, but I've been getting lots of comments from our elected officials that are starting to backwater on the Columbia River crossing, and we have an involvement in that because TriMet's going to be over there, but are you guys getting any feedback or comments? I'm getting quite a few of them.
Well, obviously there are a lot of issues that are going on with the Columbia River crossing. Senator Murray, the chair of the Senate Transportation Appropriations Committee, did get some additional dollars that obviously are helping to be able to address additional work. Our focus has been principally around light rail across the Columbia River, and although obviously we have interest in the broader sets of issues, the one thing that has not been controversial about that project is that in any and all alternatives, light rail was always going to be a part of it. It's kind of, engineeringly where to be or not. We've been principally focused on that. Neil, you may want to add.
I would note that we have some staff assigned to the project to assist with really the technical issues of light rail engineering and preliminary engineering. We expect that the FTA will approve that project for preliminary engineering at the end of this month. And at that point, the efforts will take another sort of leap in terms of level of energy and attention. In terms of the broad project, the one thing that I would note is that there is increased attention on the overall price tag of the project, and there is an effort underway to look for, if you will, value engineering solutions or phasing of various elements of the project. It's not sort of completely well understood, but of the highway elements of the project, which have been estimated round numbers about $3 billion, almost a third of that is the bridge, but the other two-thirds are really interchange improvements north and south of the bridge. And frankly, most of those, the most expensive ones, are really in Oregon because of the frequent interchanges between Hayden Island, Marine Drive, and the North Portland interchanges. So there's still, the project is still being molded. I think there's a lot of effort underway to try to do that. Obviously, all of those reductions in scope also come with some additional controversy or issues about something that's not accomplished. So I think it's fair to say there's still a good distance to go in terms of coming up with final proposals.
Thank you.